I am Denise, and I had Hebrew fact number 2, the world's biggest kept secret. So our identity is the biggest secret that the world is keeping from us. As Carlene shared in hers, how the Ashkenazis, Jews are pretending or in this role of being the nation of Israel. So we have been the world's best kept secret. So let's see, sorry. I need to move this down so I can see. So the transatlantic slave trade from the 16th through the 19th century, we know that happened, and not through the native Africans that was there. However, it was the early Hebrews that had migrated from Arabia and Egypt, Israel, and Ethiopia into West Africa. So history proves that these people were taken and sold by native African tribes and Muslims to European slave traders who then transported them to North and South and Central America. And we can find that in the scriptures, Matthew 24 and Luke 21. And once again, we are the world's best kept secret. This map shows the map of Emmanuel Bowden from 1746. And in this map, it shows the Negro land. This is where, right here, we see this is labeled the Negro land. And in these maps, you will see that the geographical location of Hebrew cities and kingdoms that were later taken into slavery. One place on this map of the Negro land above Guyana, or now we know as Sudan, one of the places the Hebrews went was called Obada, the West African slaving port of the Ivory Coast. Several African slave ships that came from the kingdom of Judah or Benin. Oops, sorry, I can't see. So I have to move this, sorry. And because we know that the children of Israel, the Black biblical Jews, were fleeing into Africa because they were trying to escape the Roman war that was going on. So a lot of them flee into Africa. And we know that Ella Hughley, in her booklet, Truth About Black Biblical Hebrews, exposes and summarizes important details of this suppressing subject. She writes, many of the Israelites who managed to escape their prosecutors during the Roman Jewish War subsequently migrated to West Africa, and 1,600 years later, their descendants were captured and brought to America in chains by cruel slave traders. Sorry, I have to keep moving this. So in Psalms 83, verses 1 through 18, the King James Version, it says that they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee. So because the powers that be, the Ashkenazis, the Jews that we know of today, who's always carried the name of Jews, and political agencies, they have all crafted crafty counsel against against the nation of Israel, so that we cannot know who we are. And again, this is the world's biggest secret. Everyone knows who we are, but we don't know who we are. So that's why it's the world's biggest secret, because they're looking at us like, okay, if you guys really knew who you are and whose you are, you will be, so further ahead, or in such a better place spiritually. So it's a secret against us, but a lot of us are now being woken up and being awakened to the truth of who we are. So it's not going to be the world's biggest secret for much longer, because as we know, there are awakened Jews all over the states and all over the world in different countries now. So the world's biggest secret is slowly being uncovered, and we, the children and the nation of Israel, is going to come together to take our rightful place. And that's the end of my, oh, sorry. And then here, if you take a look, this is part of the map that I showed earlier. Here you see the slave coast. And again, this was part of the Negro land. Guyana was right above here. And we see this is where all the slaves were shipped out of, going into the coast. Oh, sorry. What did I do? Okay, here we go. Sorry. Okay, the the world's biggest secret, Hughley writes, these groups, Ashkenazis, especially, and other ethnic groups, make up the modern Jewry today. Although the Black Hebrew Israelites are the real descendants of ancient Israel, this truth is not known by many, and it is the world's biggest secret. Because of slavery and the scattering of the Hebrew Israelites are not known to the world as the true Israel. Counterfeit Jews, white Ashkenazis, and they have no Semitic roots whatsoever, as Colleen pointed out in her presentation, that they are the fake, not the real Israelites. And the Ashkenazis all converted to Judaism as a political ploy during the Middle Ages. It appears that they learned all they could from the real Hebrews before suppressing them, selling them into slavery, or killing them, and taking over their place, using the corrupt form of Judaism to hide behind while continuing their treachery right into the modern times. So again, remember that scripture I said, they have crafty counsel against us to hide who we are. And that is the end of my presentation. Thank you.